There was a time when no human stood above another. No leaders, no followers, no kings, and no servants. It was a time of pure, absolute equality. But one day, for a reason you might not expect, all of that came to an end. This is the story of how equality died. For hundreds of thousands of years, our earliest ancestors lived lives that were remarkably similar to one another. They faced the same dangers from predators, felt the same gnawing hunger in their stomachs, and shared the exact same chance of seeing the next sunrise. No one owned more than they could carry. No single person made decisions for the entire group. In this world, true equality existed, not because of some noble philosophy, but because the concept of power simply hadn't been born yet. Everyone was focused on one thing and one thing only: survival. But the world is never static. The climate shifted, food became scarce, and new threats emerged from the shadows. Survival, once a personal challenge, became a collective struggle. In response, small, scattered bands of humans began to gather. They formed larger groups, not for comfort or companionship, but for a much more primal reason: safety in numbers. A larger group could defend itself better, hunt more effectively, and increase everyone's odds of living another day. It was a logical step, a necessary evil. And this is where everything changed. Because when people gather, someone inevitably has to decide: where do we camp for the night? When is the best time to hunt? Who stays behind to protect the young and the elderly? At first, this process felt natural. The most experienced hunter would suggest a plan, and others, recognizing the wisdom in it, would agree. It wasn't about authority, it was about efficiency and survival. It just made sense. But over time, a subtle shift began. The voices of those who made the good decisions started to carry more weight. Their suggestions became expectations, and then commands. Others followed without question, not because they were forced to, but because their own survival seemed to depend on it. These emerging leaders weren't stronger or better humans. They simply held the keys to the group's continued existence. They controlled the most critical resources. What are those resources? Food, protection, and a sense of direction. When your life and the lives of your family depend on someone else's ability to provide these things, you listen. Equality cannot survive in an environment where your survival is delegated to another. The power to decide for the group became concentrated in the hands of a few. And that was the day equality truly ended. It didn't die in a blaze of glory or a violent coup. There was no grand battle or forceful takeover. It faded away quietly, with the silent consent of those who chose security over autonomy. It ended with acceptance, and the world was never the same again. Thank you for watching. If this story made you think, consider subscribing for more explorations into our shared past.